People, what up world? Just thought I would make a little stream talking about contrail misinformation. Now, we could turn this down here. Oh, phone's ringing. Anyway, so contrail misinformation. I just produced this morning a video called Sky Scum, and not 10 minutes after I produced it, YouTube wants to take it upon themselves to put a drop down to say contrails and more info, and it leads you to misinformation. I didn't want to share anything about contrails. Contrails and chemtrails are two different things. They know that. That's why they go out of their way to try to give you misinformation about the difference between a contrail and a chemtrail. Contrail dissipates very quickly. A chemtrail goes from the east to the west, north to the south, whatever direction they're spraying in it and it stays and lingers for a long time. And it's what they create these atmospheric rivers with to cause great damage in regions with lots of snow or lots of rain mixed with tornadoes, hurricanes, and so forth by augmenting the weather with these white lines everywhere. That's the difference between contrails and chemtrails. So those who would tell you that you're not supposed to give misinformation, we see that they continue to embark on this misinformation, the difference between a contrail and a chemtrail. So next time you hear in the news, oh, you have this atmospheric river, think about the truth of the matter, that this is, we pay for this to occur to us from programs they have such as NASA, because they're not getting to space, folks. They can't get through the veil. They can't land on a light, and that's what the moon is. So many things that should be obvious to us, but we've all been dumbed down. And so to all you meteorologists out there who are telling the weather, you're all a bunch of puppets who have no sense of worth, no sense of humanity in you to look up in the sky and see the difference between contrails and chemtrails and tell the people what's really going on. So we know who you work for. You're constituents of the people that the people, us truthers, are against. See, and that's what it's become. So you who think you're, something, being on the news every night, broadcasting your lies, majority of us feel like I feel. Well, I hope the majority starts feeling like I feel, that you're all a bunch of no good people reiterating lies all day long about our past, about our future, about the weather, how it gets augmented. You'll tell us bomb cyclones, and you come up with, and you'll say new clouds. And you know what? I'll give you an example of the mentality of some of these meteorologists in my local area here in Michigan. One, he was so redundant that he blew his eye out. He blew his eye out playing with fireworks, celebrating a lie. See? In front of his children at that. See? Now, if he was chasing the truth, that would have never happened. See? Or if he had some sense. And he's the guy that still tells you the weather with one eye today. So those meteorologists don't know nothing. They tell you lies. They don't tell you about the difference between a contrail and a chemtrail. One of the platforms that Donald Trump took was that he was going to stop the chemtrailing. He got it, and they're still doing it. See? So no misinformation here. We have no reason to give you misinformation, but we will tell you here on Chief Joseph Domain, Chief Joseph Channel, Black Mirror Walker, aka Red Brick Bob. Okay, I also have a channel, Red Bricks, that I can't do anything on it right now because of misinformation, medical misinformation. They say once again, misinformation, and the misinformation was they didn't want my information from the striked video to get out to you or the mainstream, because as thinking people, even if you had a second grade education, you would have comprehended what I said, and you would have rationalized and seen what I said as the truth. And basically, I just shared what happened to a friend of mine. His daughter, she died of disease. They want to name something, and I tell you that's otherwise. They have no explanation of why 23 people in my county died of a particular disease, and I tell you I know why. So when they call that misinformation, and I tell you that's deducing what's been going down, what is the truth, and what you hide. These hospitals, many of them need to be shut down. We need to take over our medical industry like the FDA and stuff like that. We know that they just poison us. Look at all the crap that's in these our kids' foods and cereals, let alone ours, and the meats that they produce with all these chemicals to get the cow to be bigger, fatter. Augment our milk. They want to make you. Why do you vegetarians want to eat a hamburger that tastes like meat if you're vegetarians? Huh? What's up with that? So, any food for thought? Maybe I should have a call-in line. Huh? Should I have a call-in line? Do we got anybody in the chat out there? I don't even open up nothing. Let's see what's going on here. We'll open up a window. Give us a second here. Maybe we start something. I'm just waiting for dinner right now, killing some time. But I really wanted to talk about this misinformation that we keep getting from YouTube. You know, hey, good day, I'm here. Rolly roll. Oh, right there. I see you there, man. Let me open up somewhere where I could text back. I don't have nothing open. I'm over somewhere else. So let's see. Yeah, Contrail Misinformation. I got someone else's computer right now, so I'll use theirs. But I gotta put it on mute or I'll get some feedback. There, we got it on mute. Okay, can you open that up for me, YouTube? Thank you. So yeah, I see. Okay, there's 2 watching, it says. All right, Rory R. Good day, I'm here. Good day to you, sir. Why they got me sideways? Huh? Well, I gotta fix that, folks. They got me sideways here. So let's fix this here. Is that better? Yeah, that's better, huh? Yeah, sorry about that. They had me all sideways and shit, man. So, old man here telling the truth. Ain't no conspiring, no conspiracy theories here. We just tell the truth. The best way we know how is just telling the truth. We don't make no money at that. So how you doing there, Rory? Much better? Well, they fucking, pardon me, I'm trying to refrain from cussing so much, you know what I mean? I'm using, fellas, using a computer that was left for me to fix, and the guy went to Florida. He won't be back till like May. His name's Bubba. Well, that's not his name, but that's what we call him. So anyway, so he's in Florida, enjoying it in Florida. Anyway, so what do you think? Where are you coming out of there, Rory? Where are you from, sir? I think I got me a little bean juice over here. Got me some bean juice. Got the stream kicking here. So, wow, his dog's name's Bubba. Oh, South Ontario, Canada, huh? Nice, we're neighbors, man. My dog's name's Ziggy. He's a long hair, miniature dachshund. Yeah, my dog's name's Ziggy. I'm getting ready for dinner. I had to say something about that little video I made um, called Sky Scum, where they were just lighting up the sky this morning, just X's and a whole wave of lines. I think there was 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. 4 lines that they ripped across one way, and then they went higher and ripped one long, 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 long. And then they made an X in it and drove up, and made an X in it, and drove up, and made an X in it. And that all creates your atmospheric river. They send all those, whatever, chemicals, they use to, the more just particulate matter, and you have more condensation. So they put all that particulate matter in the air, and then they direct it somewhere with a frequency. And we have HARP program and these 5 and G, and we have electromagnetic telluric fields running around on all these lines that we run. So that with digital input, with particulate matter that can be moved, boom, move it around, especially if it has particulate matter of anything conductive. See, so you can put that where you want, and they do it. They tell you, oh, we're going to have extended nor'easter. How do they know that? Because they put the white lines in the sky, put their little X's there over in this region, over in this region, over in this region, and let her rip, huh? Add a little bit of little electricity, a couple explosions up there with these balloons that, oops, what happened? Where's that balloon from? Oh, it didn't detonate that one. So let's use a full $100 million, 400 or 4 million or however much it costs this missile to go blow these balloons out of the air, They didn't spray there today. Yeah, they gotta, they know the pattern, but they're spraying a lot of, they sprayed here pretty consistently for the last couple days. So I know Erratically Me out of Australia, he said they're spraying them there pretty good as well. And Face Diaper out of Florida, he says we're pardon me. That was a good hit. Help clear the chemtrails out. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah, you know what? It's bluer than I thought today because the amount I've seen them spray the amount they sprayed this morning, and by the end of the day, it'd be all gray. But you know what? That it was going towards that river, that atmospheric river that they wanted to go at a certain altitude, and a lot of stuff went all in unison. These big rips of stuff went in unison as it's getting bigger and bigger, and it all drifts away that way, and then it gathers, and somewhere it's going to be really gray. So wherever that mess went, it's going to be gray after a while and crappy. It'll probably meet their next line of rips of the white lines and so forth. However they, orchestrate this in their chronological order in regard to get the results they're getting. They've been working on this recipe for a long time. I know my stepfather was in Vietnam and my real father both, and they augmented, and that's historical fact, that this country augmented the weather and prolonged the monsoon season for 6 months. So you can't say it's a conspiracy. But we can say that there is a group conspiring against us, a group that talk about blocking the sun, talking about climate, global warming, when it's them augmenting the weather to get their agenda, their funding to do more terrible things to us. Nothing. Look, I'll give you an example. Here, DTE did a social experiment by doing a half-assed job at providing electricity for people, did no tree trimming around here, knowing that they're going to augment the weather and there's going to be a lot of people without power, okay? So this wasn't just, and who do they look after? They look after their constituents. They don't look at, the people who are stockholders, own money, have money invested into them, right? Well, anyway, look, if we had real leaders, there's one example I'll give you right now. that this cat, I can't go by with his name. Yeah, I heard that first from Radically Me. That's who I first heard that from. Radically Me out of Australia. Okay, but about power and energy. Look, that's what it's all about, folks. Cheating and stealing us. They want to meter us all for the rest of our lives, like they've been doing, and so forth. But energy, the arc, you know, these capitals all over the place, already, stuff. But I don't want to get in the red brick world right now. I just want to talk about, but it ties into it because that's the precipice of the energy. All these buildings were energized, light, capital, energy, where the soul resides, capitala, bronze top, you know, and so forth. So anyway, this cat, he borrows, you know, one of their constituents borrows 586 million or something like that, right? To go building an energy plant out of Arizona. So they got the money, built a joint. In 5 years, paid their loan off selling electricity, and all they were using is parabolic mirrors to heat oil and push their turbines to kick out the energy through their generator system, and then farm it out to the people, and also using solar. In 5 years, he paid off $586 million, folks. Why aren't we incorporating different methods of energy to break from this monopoly of DTE that's been in the game crapping down our throats, metering us for overpriced energy? And then after they give us poor, uh, they just shit on us by not providing that and leaving us in the dark for so long, so many of us, that could have been prevented. And they work with the sun blocking freaks. See, this was just part of their agenda once again. Sure does divert us from talking about most of these politicians should be welded in cells, doesn't it? And that's the truth. Our eyes get diverted with, look, there's a Netflix about some douchebag out of Carolina states who murdered his family. Who cares? It could be probably just a whole hoax because they already had a Netflix about it. Nobody cares about that guy, huh? And I think someone should have just, we have this broken system with all these overpaid judges and these lawyers and all this horse, just manure. It's just crap. It's become a leviathan beast of nonsense, and somewhere it's got to stop. But anyway, we could look in our own communities and say, hey, we need to really get some real people in there and say we utilize these funds we get in our community to break free from these energy vampires. DTE and all their constituents are no good energy vampires. And you can trace their line back to the founding of this America when they were re-engineering the past with these energy buildings all over the place. Okay? So they have one building in Nashville that's an energy building that can blow stuff up too as well. Someone say that's misinformation. That's not misinformation. Go look at the building, the AT&T building in Nashville, and you'll see that it's designed just like a building of the past, and just like buildings that they show you in movies. The all-seeing eye. You see the 3 step down in the building, the Masonic order, the 33. You always have to have that incorporated. And they follow and they chase, what they chase is the electric snake, the devil. And that's their God, the sun, Baal, okay? That's who they serve. And they think they're elite and special. And they've been revealed. So how long we're going to have the internet to make our voices heard, and when we do say things, you're too close to the truth, or you think what that person said shouldn't get to the mainstream media, they'll take your content down, or say misinformation and or this and that. And they're the ones that are misinforming us every day on whatever channel you turn it on your news, 2, 4, 7, 56, PBS, all misinformation. All our historical convoluted history is all just to, why do we have our kids have to follow this pattern of lies that set down over and over and over and over? Today I was at the grocery store. I seen so many different vet hats: Gulf War, Vietnam War, World War II, all these different hats people are wearing. And that tells you how many people still think that there's some kind of honor and valor and fighting for my country theme, and that's all a lie, folks. Look around where you live. It's a melting pot of people where their country's been wrecked, east and west, north and south. Right here in America, they did the same thing and tell you it's about slavery when it was about control. There was cities already here, folks, everywhere. People who want to call themselves African American or in color and stuff like that, they're never even in Africa. They were already here. But they're given a false doctrine about where they came from and this and that and the slave trade and all that. No, 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 no. The monsters were killing adults, and we had orphan trains all over America, all over Europe, the same theme. Go look at the wars in Scotland, and lead right back to the church, England, and banking institutes. And today we call that the New World Order. So that's where they've climbed, the ladder up to. They're real close to New World Order agenda, with the neutral country. You have to have the neutral country, just like you can't go to Antarctica unless you from the neutral country and you in the club, like George Carlin would tell us, And today should be fucking George Carlin Day, because we're gonna say fuck. See, it's George Carlin Day today because he was fucking telling it right. And fuck isn't a bad word, right? Yeah. Yeah, I hear you, dude. So, anyway, I got off a track talking, but that's good. Sometimes I need to, someone to, what are you talking about, dude? Just babbling. And that's what I thought about that to do today and in the past too, of all of us, myself included, because we have so very little means of what we can do. Sometimes we get caught up in this YouTube thinking we're making a difference, and maybe some people will hear us, and maybe some of them will take what we said and say it better, and more people will hear. Or sometimes I think, are we all just a slave to this technology, and we're just all babbling away, and they're just laughing, and then as they dissect these videos, you're getting a good list or a bad list. And then when you get to these corporate pharmaceutical places that hand you your script, they got one for you. You know what I mean? Because it's all so monopolized and controlled. I mean, just if you study like Walgreens and you see they were the ones got all the brothers land up at Walgreens, and what are they doing? They're buying Sanitas oil and some other shit and cocaine and heroin straight out of Walgreens back in the 1800s, folks. And they're the same peddlers today that work for the constituents that approve certain drugs that they say that you need when you didn't in the first place, because it was the food you're eating that was poisoning you, or the chemtrails that they're lacing down upon you that kills trees, or these frequencies, towers everywhere, 2.4 gigahertz and then up to 5G. Yeah, there are more people awake today than there was 3 years ago. I don't know, but I say to you, Rory R., where are you coming out of? What can you do? Maybe you're the one that has the idea, or you're the one that can direct how we can form as a group. Because I've tried to form in the groups like with the red brick people, and all there's just everyone just trying to divide people in there. And some people, it just looks like they're there for their ego, and will put different Hollywood movie stars as their theme picture in the story that they're trying to tell. And I don't know, it's turning into not what the message should be. It should be, and myself included, I look at things a little bit different than some people. And I think it's a shame that there's so much division, and nobody has a sense in these groups to say, hey, even after we have, like, we have emailed, shared before and so forth, nobody could reach out and say, hey, this didn't go down, or this went down, or this and that, when it was blatant and obvious. I had myself, a friend, and another person who's very much more technical than me see what occurred, and we knew right there. And then we contacted someone we knew in Wall Lake, who works inside of YouTube, and they said, yeah, it was one of their moderators who were letting some things get through and then just blocking it altogether, and so forth. So, but and then no one said so. So that's what they wanted, to drive me away. So who in that group is working to divide that group already before the snowball really gets going? And then then they just do this mundane, everyday, same old, melted this melted, and this viscosity, and this and that, and no timelines, or no research about that building. For example, like some of these buildings they show, that's what I think I'm going to start touching on. Some of these buildings they show, you look at the convoluted history that you're given, and it gives it a greater understanding when you start divulging the viscosity and so forth. Because on a lot of maps, they will show in these old maps that they were burning these castles at the down by the base, okay, in these wars. Because a lot of these people in the red brick community want to say it was all harmony and fucking it was great and everything was good. It wasn't good. I believe it got melted because man was so evil, and so much nastiness was going on. We are way ahead in technology too, you know. Just like in the scripture, it says, "Don't spill your seed on the ground." What the hell does that mean? Your semen. Why? Because they can get it. It can live 5 days out of your body, and they can produce beings. There's people who do that, and people say, "Oh, you're crazy, Bob." No, go study your world's fairs, and you'll hear about the incubator babies and stuff like that. And there's a lot more to it than even um, for example, Hollow Earth and the technologies that come from Hollow Earth. And how long did some men reside in Hollow Earth, and are they still there? Are there a race of man that said, man, we're out of here, and we'll surface when it's time to? I don't know. I mean, that's kind of hypothetical there, but I don't know. But see, but there is evidence that points in the direction of that. And then some of it you look at, and it's like they manufactured that in the past to give you a certain, you didn't want to go in there, or this or that, you know what I mean? Because they weren't done destroying and raping what they found in this melted building that they call the cave today, you know, or all these underground cities everywhere, you know. So that's it. We just had me and Rory here today. Excuse me. You know what that means? It means got to take another puff. And what are we doing? We got a little dragon fruit going here today. Really good for you. Uh, Lifts your spirits. So, dragon fruit. Sorry about that, folks. For you non-smokers. So that's about it. That's what I wanted to make my little video about today. It was good to talk to Rory. I guess nobody else came here. Yeah, I don't know. I wish I had more answers. Uh, but I don't. I would like to see more people unite, and we could have some cool rallies and stuff, man. You know, start renting out Coliseum and talking about what we're gonna do, as and we need to get together like that, in big groups, and then we get our guy inside this White House, these local officials that hand down their job over and over, like that Dingle broad. She's dumber than a doorknob, and she gets her husband's job, or a job of such manner, And she ain't smart as a box of rocks, folks. She's just another person uh, shitting on us with lies, misinformation, not digging into the truth of the matter, just riding the beast system. That's what those people are. We call those lifelong parasites. See? And she's one of them. And that's my opinion based on what they've shown us and what they're doing today. Just like Gretchen Whitmer, if we went by, if we had real men and we adhered to the law of this land, she would be in a cell waiting trial for what she's did to all of us. So you can dice and slice that any way you want, but that's the truth. So this video was just going to be short and it ended up being a little bit longer. So we were just going to talk about real quick about the misinformation that you get from YouTube about contrails. Contrails and chemtrails are two different things. So know that YouTube is the one that giving you the misinformation. Not Chief Joseph, not Red Brick Channel. I've gotten misinformation strikes by trying to inform people of the truth, and they don't want you to hear the truth. So there's some more truth from Black Mirror Walker, Chief Joseph Domain. Say love your neighbor like you love yourself. If your neighbor don't got a doobie and you do, roll them up one. Sit down and kick it. See, bang your heads together and see if you can come up with something in your own neighborhood. Start uniting. Stop the division. Don't let them divide you no more. You get into this Facebook group, and then all of a sudden then that group gets divided and babbling here and then over here and babbling here and babbling here. We need to learn how to unite all of us, me included. We need to have something better and greater than what these douchebags are giving us. And to all you journalists out there, in my book, you're the maggots of the world. All of you. You denigrate humans by your nonsensical reiteration of what those people who call themselves leaders say. Just like with the Banking Institute. And that's who I'm talking about, corporate America. You're douchebags. And today I have a convoluted sense of my own faith. I was brought up a particular way, believing in something, and today I've had to re-dissect everything that I believed in. So that's really alarming, to the trace route of the misinformation that my leaders have put in my head about lies and nonsense. I hold you and all your family members accountable for that, what you've done and created by your habitual lying. So Nanu Nanu Shazbat, huh? May the force be with you, right? Love your neighbor like you love yourself. I'm out of here. Thanks for stopping by, Rory. And George McKenzie, man, I just watched about some of your ancestors, Mr. McKenzie. You had a lot of noble people in your family there, Mr. McKenzie. Whatever the cause was, they was some fighting son of a bitches. So thanks for all you warriors out there who look to see the truth and have morals in their life, who love women, who love children, and love the beautiful sun when it shines down upon us to grow and yield those things we need for sustenance in our lives. Those kind of people I love. Peace to all you red brick souls out there. Be cool.